From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K-Rock, and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country should have hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty.
This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock. The phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 239-775-9600. Thanks to executive producer Tripod Billy, we are streaming live video at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also give us a like at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Special thanks to our in-studio producer, Sick Rick. Good morning, Smitty. What you got, man?
What's up, Southwest Florida? Big day today. I'd first like to thank our title sponsor, Duncan's Diamonds, for supporting the Ledge Radio Show. You can call them at 877-343-4883. That's 877-343-4883, or visit them at their website, www.duncandiamonds.com, for all your diamond and jewelry needs.
Very nice. Great sponsors.
Also want to just bring up this morning before we get started and all this frivolity that we're going to have there's going to be a big VFW fundraiser November 11th. So mark this on your calendar. This is for the vets out there.
About 2 Sundays from now?
It's about 2 Sundays from now, and it's actually being sponsored by Papa Joe's Italian Restaurant, and they're teaming up with
Papa Joe's. That's the one you told me is phenomenal.
Yeah, I love it. I ate there last night, and the lady out there, Tony, she's terrific. The food's great. And,
where's Papa Joe's? In the Cape, right?
Yeah, the South Point Bridge. You go over it, and you go about a half a mile or so. It's on the left-hand side. It's at Corona. You make a U-turn. It's right there.
Nice.
But they're teaming up with Continental at the VFW post 8483, November 11th. Put it on your calendar, and they're going to have all kind of music there. They're going to have bands. They're going to have Vinny B. They're going to have Ray LaRae. They're going to have Richie C.
So live music, dancing, raffle with 50-50.
50-50 raffle gets me there. You know, I'm all about that.
And we got a giveaway for later in the hour.
We do. We have a $25 gift certificate that's actually a giveaway that Tony provided us, and we're going to be giving that away later on. But
so $25 to Papa Joe's later in the hour.
Absolutely.
And we'll announce that here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to give you the key phrase to call in, and the first one that calls in to the key phrase and talks to Tripod Bill in the back there will get the gift certificate. But it's a VF fundraiser for the vets, and we're all about the vets. I mean, you can't do enough for these guys. They put their life on the line, and it's a good cause.
I agree.
So everybody's on board with
that. One thing Smitty and I agree with.
Absolutely, and I think you can't do enough for the vets, man. I mean, my dad, he was back in World War II, and he was a vet, and he went over there and fought the Japanese, and that was an era where men were men, man. They didn't mess around.
I was telling you yesterday, my uncle, he's down and out right now. He's at the hospital. He's a Vietnam vet, Purple Heart winner, paratrooper from the Army, and so he needs support too. But
absolutely.
Well, what's the next thing?
And we're going to shoot something back to our producer back there, Tripod Bill. He has a quick word. He never gets to talk, so we're going to let him speak a little bit. Bill, go ahead, buddy. Well, we might have some technical difficulty.
How about now?
There you go.
Go ahead, buddy.
There we go. Usually I don't say nothing, but I'd like to give a shout-out. I had a family member that died this weekend, and I just wanted to give a shout-out to his wife, Kim Wheeler, and his 2 kids, Aubrey and Kayla. He died tragically Wednesday, but I just wanted to say our heart goes out to them.
And prayers.
Yeah, and prayers goes out to them.
Thanks, Bill.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Take care. So that's always a shame, It's
yeah,
not much you can say about it.
I hate to start out on a bummer, but that's how it goes. So let me transpose this thing real quick. How do you like the election now, huh? If it was a horse race, down the stretch they go. Mitt, no, it's Obama, it's Mitt, hold your bets, hold all bets.
Hey, listen, Mr. Fired Up, I got a caller already on the line.
All righty.
So I'm going to go to, we got Matt Novak. Matt's on what, line 1, Sick Rick? Matt Novak on line 1 for Collier County Mosquito Control. Matt, are you there with the Ledge Radio Show?
Yes, I am. How you doing today?
Good, buddy. What's going on, man?
What's up, Matt?
Not much. Just getting ready to head up to Central Florida to play a football game.
That's right. You play for, what, Ave Maria?
Ave Maria, yeah.
What position do you play?
Quarterback.
Oh, no kidding. There you go. You can't beat that, man.
You know he loves his tight end.
Oh, man.
Stop it.
That's Smitty, man.
Where'd you go, Penn State? Stop it.
No Sandusky hugs in here. Anyway, all right, so what's the deal, Matt? You're running for mosquito board. It's not something that people know a lot about, but it's a big problem in Southwest Florida. Mosquitoes are deadly. They're irritating.
Why don't they just give out citronella candles to everybody?
That doesn't kill them, though.
Give a whole stock load of everybody.
Wasn't it the University of Florida that tried to bring in all the love bugs, like back in the I don't remember if it was the 60s or something, thinking that they could breed them with the mosquitoes and it would turn the mosquitoes to where they couldn't bite you anymore, but then that didn't work out. Just now
they just try to hump your head.
All right, so what are you going to do, Matt, to help the folks at Collier County get rid of their mosquito problem?
Well, I think the main thing is fiscal responsibility is something that we have a lot of problems with in all areas of government right now.
I was thinking bug spray.
Bug spray is great.
Okay.
I think a lot of it's educating the public about, certain situations around the house and stuff like that. If you leave buckets around the house, mosquitoes can breed.
True.
And I think we focus a lot on just using traditional spraying. So I think we should look at some new ways to keep costs down for voters and constituents and members of Collier County, just so we can use some biological controls and other means of controlling these deadly vectors of disease.
Stay away from napalm. That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Napalm's no good.
Cigars and citronella candles, that keeps them away.
If you drink a lot, if you drink enough around the campfire, you won't even feel them.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's becoming a major problem because we have there's actually been some cases of West Nile in Florida and coming down into Collier County.
Sure.
So I mean, it's a huge epidemic that's going on in Texas to have a huge outbreak. A lot of people have died. So it is a very important but unknown part of our local government here.
Well, are you personally aware of some new or different techniques that Collier County's not using that you would like to have implemented down there?
Absolutely. Lee County is very innovative in their approaches, and they use a lot of biological controls. They breed minnows and stuff like that, which is essentially costless. We could use some of those techniques. Here in Collier County, all we do is spray. And I talked to some people in the Florida Department of Entomology, and they actually think that's that's kind of like a last resort technique. And I'm all for spraying, but it's very, very expensive. For example, just this past year, we've doubled our cost of pesticides. Went up from $1 million to $2 million just in this year's budget, which of course reflects on your millage rate and your tax increase you got this year.
What did that do for the number of mosquitoes out there?
What did what?
What did it do for the number of mosquitoes? They doubled the spray. Did it knock them down twice as much or no?
I live out here in Golden Gate Estates. I live out here in Golden Gate Estates, and I'm telling you, I don't see half as much mosquitoes. I mean, it looks like there's twice as much mosquitoes as last year.
Right. They need to genetically clone these things so they don't produce.
Well,
or something.
That's kind of what he's not. I mean, no, I don't want to say that's kind of what he's saying, but like Lee County, what he's saying is they've got some new innovative ways that they're dealing with it, and you were talking about different. They're putting different larvae, or what do you call them, minnows? I don't follow it.
They use Lee County uses a lot of different approaches. They've bred some minnows. They use it's called larvicides.
Okay.
Adulticides target the adult mosquito, and larvicides target the larvae stage of the mosquito.
Okay.
And water.
So it basically kills them, or makes them to where they can't reproduce at the water stage when they're still in the water.
Well, I don't know if you guys were paying attention a lot in the local media. With actually, there was a company that was looking to come into the Keys to. They had made these genetically mutated mosquitoes so that they released them and then they couldn't breed.
Okay.
They'd breed with the mosquitoes, and then the babies were sterile. They couldn't have more babies. So it was
nice.
actually a really interesting idea for essentially free or low cost.
I could picture that as some kind of sci-fi movie. Eventually, these things get bigger and bigger, and it's like they're the size of a person, man.
That'd be blue balls.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying.
Bunch of mosquitoes with blue balls.
Well, that's right, swinging around.
Oh man, man, you got.
He can't produce. He's plugged up like a log jam. Look at that son of a gun.
You guys are funny.
Well, we don't try. That's just how we are. But that's good, man. Now, so you're on the ballot for November 6th. Collier County. Do you have a website that folks can go to learn a little bit more about you?
I have a Facebook page.
Okay, perfect. Is it just Matt Novak? How do people find you?
It's www.facebook.com/vote Matt Novak.
And what is it? NOVAK?
NOVAK.
All right, awesome.
You got to get a better name like Mosquito King or something, man. You know, Mosquito Killer.
Today, so.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need a real catchphrase, man.
Well, you know, you're still obviously still in college. You're playing football for Ave Maria. You got some looks like you've really got a goals set forth. I mean, is politics your thing? I mean, is this kind of your first step into politics, or is this just something that you're passionate about as far as mosquito control?
I'm actually a biology major here at Ave Maria as well, so I deal with a lot of this stuff in the laboratory, and we have a lot of state-of-the-art facilities here where I can look into some research and some ideas and look at all sorts of stuff over here. So it's kind of my passion.
Wow!
So he's real smart.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I'm not exactly a politician or anything, but you know.
I think it helps. I think it helps bringing a guy like you that has this background in biology, you know, into this field, because it seems that more times than not, the mosquito control board or just the good old boy system, and
we're stuck in the rut doing the same old. This guy comes along, young guy. He's innovative, smart, intelligent.
Actually, you know, it's not even reinventing the wheel. He's saying, hey, look at this other county that has a good, maybe a better way of doing things. Let's implement those ideas.
Put a Band-Aid on that thing, right?
Do something.
And you guys are exactly right. I mean, we've been doing the same thing for a very long time now here in Collier County, just traditional spraying. And you know, I'm not opposed to that at all. I just think maybe we should switch up our chemical because mosquitoes are getting resistant to that one chemical that we've been using for so long. Right. And also look at other ideas and other innovative approaches to dealing with this deadly pest that could potentially, especially with an elderly demographic here in Collier County. I mean, we have such an elderly demographic, and that's what West Nile targets the most. We have the most deaths from the elderly demographic.
Wow.
So
absolutely.
It is important.
Well, Matt, it sounds like you got some great ideas. We like, I personally like seeing the new blood come in. No pun intended for the mosquitoes, but, someone with new ideas that's, you're kind of out in the forefront. You're wanting to use, implement ideas that work in other places that haven't been tried, haven't been tried in Collier County. So I wish you luck, buddy. For all that are interested, go to, Matt Novak's Facebook page, vote Matt Novak. And
Skeeter Man.
He's a mosquito killer, man.
That's right, man.
Give him a vote for Collier County.
There's a skeeter on your Peter. Knock it off. Go get him, buddy. Go get him.
Hey, if you see my signs around town, they say fight the bite on them, so that's kind of the motto.
Fight the bite. All right, Matt. Take care, buddy. Thanks for calling, man.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks so much, man.
You know, what Matt says is true, though, man. I was at a Halloween haunted house thing last night, and right just as it got dark, man, these big old swamp mosquitoes started landing, and I swear we ought to change the state bird to mosquito, because them things are huge. What do you think?
I don't go outside. I just stay inside.
Nice.
No, I go to the city, man. I don't hang out in the swamps like you do. I know you're a big swamp guy.
Speaking of the swamps,
tell me a little.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a live
something up there.
Live remote November 17th out of the Redneck Yacht Club in Punta Gorda.
When is this going to happen, man?
I just told you, November 17th.
Did you say November 17th?
That's the day. Off of Vermont Road. Everybody knows where Redneck Yacht Club is.
You're going by your solo self. You're going out there with the...
I'm going to leave Smitty here to run the shop with... I'm going to try to get Joe David out to stand in.
He's going to get one of his
me.
Communist friends come in here and try to beat me up. You know?
I don't think the Republicans are communists.
Well, they must be Nazis then. I don't know.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
So you're going to get David Dow in here, right?
I'm going to get David out in here to tear you up, man.
Oh, he's a lawyer. He's always sharp. He's sharp.
Beat you
I
down
got to be on my A game when he comes in now.
Well,
no, that'd be good.
What's the deal with Trump? I know you want to say something about Trump.
Trump's been making the news lately, and you can read a little bit about what's going on there. I mean, you have some.
All right, so Trump comes out, says he's going to give President Barack Obama $5 million to a charity of his choice if he provides a few, different identifications.
Now he wants his transcripts from college
and his passport applications.
Oh, and now it's his passport. Okay.
Well, because think about it, to apply for a passport, you got to provide birth certificates, all that kind of stuff.
I know. You don't think he's making an ass of himself or anything? You think he's just?
Oh, I don't know what he's doing it for. It could be for just for ratings for Trump.
I mean, you think?
I don't know.
He's crazy. The man's out of control. He's got a lot of money and he can bloviate anybody anywhere because he's got that kind of money.
Well,
so
I don't know. I know you got something from Colbert.
Well, I like Stephen Colbert. I think he's terrific. He's very intelligent.
You want to play it right before we go to break?
Yeah, we can play a little something here, and I think it's kind of funny.
So where'd this come off of? What's he on?
It's Stephen Colbert Report, right?
On Comedy Central.
Right, Comedy Central. He's a great guy.
All right,
we're always looking to bring you the biggest election story on this show, and rumors started Monday about a game-changing October surprise.
Donald Trump now claims to have a bombshell announcement about President Obama. The major announcement from Donald Trump is coming out today and why it might change your vote in the presidential election.
But I have something very, very big. It's very big.
Okay, so
bigger than anybody would know. It's going to be very big. I know one thing, you will cover it in a very big fashion.
Yes. Board up your windows, stock up on canned meats. This will be the biggest, classiest, most devastating election game changer in the human history of time. Okay? Think Teapot Dome, only the teapot is encrusted with gold and we're using diamond tea bags. Okay, speculation rampant. Was it the long-rumored Obama divorce papers? Proof that Obama's white half is also black? No. Even bigger, folks. Trump dropped a 10-mega-Trump bombshell.
If Barack Obama opens up and gives his college records and applications, and if he gives his passport applications and records, I will give to a charity of his choice, Inner City Children in Chicago, American Cancer Society, AIDS research,
Black Panther Party,
anything he wants, a check immediately for $5 million. One caveat, the records must be given by October 31st at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's right. He has to have it by 5 o'clock on Halloween. Because that night, he's renting out his enormous orange head as a jack-o'-lantern. Folks, with Donald Trump, you got to know, it's not about him.
You know we're going to get copyright for this.
Frankly, it's a check that I very much want to write. Mr. President, not only will I be happy, and by the way, totally satisfied, but the American people will be happy. And you know what? Those charities will be very, very happy.
Nation, I am so moved by this generous offer that I have an offer of my own right over here. Mr. Trump, I will write you a check for $1 million from Colbert Super PAC. You know I've got it.
$1 million.
To the charity of your choice. Anything. Save the children, feed the children, put the children on Child Apprentice, whatever. $1 million actual dollars. If you will let me dip my in your mouth.
Oh, man.
I think we know what he was saying.
Oh, he kind of left a little bit.
$1 million for that.
Nice.
But this dipping, and I hope you're listening very carefully, Mr. Trump, this dipping has to be to my, and more importantly, my balls' satisfaction. Okay?
Nice.
One caveat. My balls must be in your mouth.
So you see, Stephen Colbert has challenged Mr. Trump and trumped him. He trumped him on that one.
I guess so.
If everybody wants to see that clip, that's a great clip.
And with that, we go to break.
We'll be right back.
Lex and Terry, 6 to 10 p.m.
You're the lyingest, cheatingest, biggest piece of crap football coach in America is what you are. You are a douchebag. We have Michael Chiklis on the line. That was a bad setup, wasn't it, Michael?
Oh, my God. You're not talking to the right guy right now. I'm getting ready to do an interview, and I hear that about my coach.
Lex and Terry on 96K.
I am Matt Miller. You are Matt Miller. We are Matt Miller. Vote for me November 6th. Or you can vote early at the Supervisor of Elections, downtown Fort Myers, so we can make a difference and restore fiscal responsibility and economic development to our area. I am a believer. I am your neighbor. I am you. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world.
No matter how big, no matter how small, secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm, security, and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best-of-industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
When it comes to managing your diabetes, Bayer's new Contour Next EZ blood glucose meter makes testing easy. You also get exceptional accuracy because it uses the next generation Contour Next test strip for close to lab test results. And all this at the lowest everyday price of all major brands. Find Bayer's new Contour Next EZ meter at Walmart on rollback for only $9.97 this week. Upgrade today. Offer good from October 18th through January 17th. Bayer's new Contour Next EZ meter. Ease, accuracy, and savings. Now that's a powerful combination. Now available at Walmart.
Mike Rowe here at a Ford dealer with a little Q&A for Fiona. According to the signs, Ford is having some sort of big tire event. How would you describe the event?
It's big.
The savings one might enjoy at the event.
They're big.
What about the selection?
Big.
Get a $60 mail-in rebate on Ford Select tires. Use the Ford Service credit card for an extra $60.
So I think we can agree then that Ford's tire event is good-sized.
No, Michael. It's big.
Subject to credit approval. Rebate by check. Offer cannot be combined. See participating Ford dealer for rebate and other offer details through 11/30/12.
The pre-owned Lexus vehicles at Germain Lexus are better than exceptional, and so are the prices. So we've created a new word to describe them: Lexceptional. Right now, get exceptionally low prices on every certified pre-owned Lexus in stock. Hand-picked local one-owner trades and lease returns certified by the factory and backed by a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty and 24-hour roadside assistance, starting under $20,000 and financing as low as 0.9%. And every Germain Lexus comes with Platinum Club membership benefits, featuring complimentary car washes, oil changes, and more. But these Lexceptional deals can't possibly last. So hurry to our all-new state-of-the-art facility at Germain Lexus of Naples on the corner of Wiggins Pass and US 41. It's truly Lexceptional. Or call 1-866-49-LEXUS and online at GermainLexusofNaples.com. Price plus tax tag title and dealer fees. Financing on select models for a limited term with approved credit expires month end.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, that's what my friends say too. Well, here we go.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. If you'd like to advertise during this show for our new primetime slot every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon, visit our website, contact us for details. Smitty, we got a special guest in the studio with us right now.
Mr. Cecil Pendergrass.
Cecil Pendergrass.
Good morning, guys.
Runner for Lee County Commission. What's the district?
District 2.
And where's District 2 again?
District 2 basically runs north from Daniels to downtown, from the river east towards Lehigh Acres. But it's a countywide vote, though.
That's right.
I predict you probably will win that.
I'm hoping so.
We sure hope you do.
I'm working for it, guys.
Yeah, you're doing a good job out there, man. Shaking a lot of hands, kissing a lot of babies, right?
Well, what I like about it is the guy's grassroots. He's from here. He's
worked in the trenches.
Worked in the trenches, and he's
how long were you a police officer?
Well, I was born and raised here. I'm 49 years old, and that's to say I'm one of the unique ones when I'm elected to the board. Is I was born Lee Memorial, went to school, lived, worked in District 2 for 49 years.
No kidding.
Perfect example. If you had single-member districts, I put 2 signs up, I'll be done. Everybody in the community either knows me, related to me, or hangs out with me.
Either
so
knows me
like,
or related to me.
So
part of the family tree.
That's great. But, Lee County.
One crooked tree. That's right.
Lee County is 804 square miles totally, and it's a challenge to get out, but it's the best part of the campaign is going out and meeting people in different parts of the community.
And they can vote today, can't they?
Yes, sir.
Voting today. Started at 7 a.m.
Yep, 7 to 7, right?
7 to 7.
7 to 7, and let me tell you something. I just came from 2 of the polls this morning, and there's about a 2-hour wait, but let me tell you something.
Wow.
People are energized. They're excited about it.
What are you seeing at the polls? What are people... what are people, if you were to take a guess as to which side is winning right now, left or right, or Republican or Democrat, you see anything?
Oh, come on. Don't put me in that position.
Let me look at it. Maybe he uses the magic 8-ball. Turns it over.
I know.
Chances are not so good.
Maybe.
Maybe. Seriously, I think what I'm seeing from the people, and I've seen it when I went door to door in the community, is everybody's just looking for something new and fresh.
They want to change.
And change.
They don't want to keep going forward?
Come on, you guys still keep those magic words out there.
He's running for Lee County Commission. He's not running for president.
They just want, I think what people are looking for is why I ran for office. They want to get trust back in the county government, the national government. I think people, what we're looking for, and I'm saying we, because
you mean we lost trust?
In our local government, and people have lost some trust, and they, as far as confidence in the board, in the county commission, and also throughout government altogether.
Are you a runoff? Are you a runoff right now, or?
I have no, it's not a runoff.
You have an NPA or something?
Yes, I am the Republican primary winner, and against a not-party guy who has no support, no backing. The paper says we're alike in a lot of ways. I don't see it because, he's had
maybe he has a similar haircut.
He's had 700 jobs. He's a failed businessman. Everywhere I go, people are looking for him for money because he owes them money, and he never shows up anywhere. So, I've only seen the guy twice on the campaign trail. Seriously.
Wow.
He doesn't show up at the forums. He doesn't respond. But his name is on the ballot. He will get some votes based upon
just having a name there.
Just having a name there.
That's what I'm going to do. I'll put my name on a ballot that's unopposed. I'm just going to put it on there, man. Smitty.
Yeah.
I'll find who's running unopposed, and I'll run.
Just don't run against Bob Smitty Smith.
No, that would be confusing.
Like 2 Smitties.
I might even gain there too.
Well, Cecil, what do you see as some of the reasons why people locally lost trust in their county commission or certain members? Do you see certain land deals, maybe?
MedStar.
But I think it wasn't the board totally. What's happened is they hear all the negative stuff, and Lee County has not done a good job promoting what the positive things Lee County's done here locally, and it's done a lot of good things here locally. I mean, seriously, I was born and raised here, and I'm not leaving. This is a beautiful area. Why would we direct people here worldwide to come here to visit? Why would you want to move away from here? And I would be honored to obviously serve the Lee County residents for that reason. But I think what's happened, people they're tired of hearing all the negative stuff. They're tired of hearing about all the petty stuff that's going on. A lot of stuff that happened. You mentioned MedStar. That's an administrative thing. It was just something as far as billings and certifications that happens to any type of business or any type of government.
But man, that was a major thing. That's a program that's shut down right now. We're having to use services from somewhere else.
People quitting and everything.
Well, that should have been fixed within a couple of days.
Should have been.
It should have been fixed. Here's how you resolve it. Then you know what? We're advertising for new pilots tomorrow. Period.
Okay.
Problem solved. Move to the next issue. And I think people are going to be talking about VR labs. That's still being investigated. I don't know everything about that. What I've seen is I think the county is lacking as far as policy and procedures about the whole program. And I'm looking forward to having some restructure there, so more policy in place for that. So there's no confusion. Everybody talks about the land deals. You mentioned land deals. The 2020. The 2020 program is good for what it's for. I think what Lee County's done is a bad job promoting it and telling people what process it goes through. It's not some guy walks in and gets a check for some property. It goes through committees after committees, approvals, processes, appraisals. There's only 2 appraisals done. I think it should be more than that.
I want to talk about that in just a second. We've actually got a caller on the line from Fort Myers. Got RJ on hold, line 1, Fort Myers. RJ, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning. What can we do for you?
Hey, got a question for Cecil. Cecil, a pet peeve of mine has been the way that the Red Sox were handled as far as deciding to build a stadium, and it wasn't put up for a vote so that we, the citizens, the taxpayers, actually got some kind of an input as to how this whole thing was handled. I felt like there should have been some studies done to show what would bring better tourism into Lee County, the Red Sox, or doing something that may have even attracted more spring breakers or whatever. How would you have handled that? Would you have done the same thing as the county commission has done? What would you have done that would have been different?
Hey, thanks, RJ. We appreciate the call, buddy.
RJ, great question. I had that same question myself as a resident, and as I learned the process and got educated about the process myself, because I wasn't sure how it happened either. There was town hall meetings held in the community about where they put the parks, if they build or not. There's public hearings about it. As far as putting a vote, I don't think statutory they could do that. For an item like that, but if it could be done, I would support that. But I will tell you, I was not informed either. Now I'm more informed about that. Is not being paid for you and me and everybody else is paying taxes here. It was a tourist tax dollars paying for that. Bed tax is paying for that. So we're technically not paying for that. So when people come here and stay here, stay in our hotels, they're paying the bed tax on that. That money's being used for that. So you and me are not really paying for that. Just so you understand that. Now,
now there was some speculation. One of our guests early on in this election cycle mentioned that at least the interest for this loan was being paid with Obama stimulus money. So if that's the case, essentially, then that is our money.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I looked into that. I'm not going to go back and debate another candidate in another race about that, but it's all being paid by the 20% set aside for the TDC, the Tourism Development Council. I did my homework. I met with staff. I met with the manager about it as far as that, where the money's coming from. I never could find that.
So was that you couldn't see it? All right. So it didn't. In your eyes, from the research you've done, that never came to fruition.
Right.
Okay.
My concern, here's the deal. And RJ, I hope you're still listening. My main concern is, okay, it's already there. It's already done. I can't change it. We can't change it. We can't bulldoze the park down and get our money back. My job is going to be to get heads and beds here to pay for that.
Well, think about this. Have you seen the county? It's an ordinance or something they're putting on the ballot. I have my sample ballot with me today for the casino down at the Naples Fort Myers Greyhound track. So they're putting that on a vote for the county that basically says, will you approve them to have this new feature? Which, in a sense, if they get that feature in the way that the wording is laid out, they would be the only ones allowed to have that feature. It almost like it gives them the sole right to have a casino in Lee County.
When I want to have one in my backyard too.
I think it's just for slot machines, and I think it's a slot machine. The state has to still approve that also after the county referendum's done too. So that's a different process. It's like from 2 years ago.
But what he's saying is true though.
If
they're the only guys that have it,
done it for
then nobody else is going to be able to get it.
Well, I'm just using that as my example, Smitty, in the fact that if they can put that on as a county referendum, why would they not have been able to use, say, the Red Sox stadium in the same capacity to a vote?
Well, because, for example, every time you go do beach renourishment, for example, renourish the beach at north end of Fort Myers Beach, would you put that on the ballot?
I got you.
Or if you're going to build a new community center, which are opening next month.
So basically, it's you voted for your commissioners to make these decisions on your behalf.
Right.
Allow them the power that you've given them to make those decisions.
Right.
Okay.
And I think what we need to do, and what I'm going to do is my new nickname has already been a community commissioner, is have meetings out in the community.
Are you for that? Are you for the dog track getting the?
I haven't even actually read the statute or the ordinance for that. I really haven't even had a chance to read it.
It's a little convoluted to read it.
I know from the Destination Resort itself 2 years ago from the law enforcement side, I stood up and endorsed that because it didn't cause crime. It didn't bring any type of a negative.
So as it stands now, you sort of kind of are for it.
Yes, I support it. There's going to be a certain area of the building which they'll have slot machines that'll be used for that. It's something the TDC, the Tourism Development Council, can support. We can work on as far as tourism to bring people here. Drive down 41 and Fowler Street, guys. There's a casino gaming place every corner.
Right.
And they're not regulated. There's no way you can market them. And that is a crime issue and is a quality of life issue. Those areas can bring some, bad.
Well, I can tell you that if they pass that down at the dog track, that donut shop's going to do really well right there. So whoever bought that donut shop.
Well, here's what I don't want to waste a lot of your time on this particular issue because you haven't looked at that particular ordinance yet, or that item on the referendum ballot. But basically, the way it sounds to me in the advertising I've been hearing on the radio is that if you vote yes for that, and I got to find some more details about this. Sounds like it gives them sole right to have that type of gaming.
Yeah.
If that's the case, man, that means that like the casino thing that we were talking about, maybe up on Colonial, the Forum area,
right,
that wouldn't be allowed because you've given sole right to the dog track.
that's another issue again. That's going to go back to the state, and they have to say destination resort. There are going to be so many permits in the state.
You have to think once the cat's out of the bag, once they open that Pandora's box, and once somebody says, okay, we approve it, and it goes into the dog track, it's only a matter of time before somebody else says, hey, what about Northern Cape Coral? We want to have one, and then it gets into that battle, and they have a legitimate gripe at that point.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so. As long as it doesn't set statute up to say that
so it's
for
like
the next
100
years they
right.
don't have a lease, where they're the only ones that can have it.
Yeah, and I can't say, I know in some other states they have OTBs, off-track betting parlors, where people can actually go into, like sizes like 7-Elevens, and they have these parlors where people can actually bet on track.
Well, we'll see how that stuff progresses, but, we've just got a few minutes left before the break, Cecil, before I let you go, and I want, I want you to get the message out to the voters as to, what's the final, I hate to use this term, but we'll use it because of Halloween, the final nail in the coffin to make people vote for you on November 6th, and even starting today, they can go out there and vote for you for County Commission District 2. What can you do to help these folks in this county?
Well, like I said before, I've already been tagged with a new nickname as Community Commissioner. I've already been out in the community. I've been on the streets all my life, and I want to keep that same work ethic as far as being out, listening to the voters. It's like RJ calling in. I hope I can talk to RJ again in the future about this issue because, the commission needs to listen to the community, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the message back from the community back to the Board of County Commissions and respond and act appropriately and be accountable to the community. We need to have more dialogue. I'm looking forward to having my weekly and monthly meetings out in the community from Lehigh to Cape Coral to Bonita Springs. So looking forward to being
bring the voice back to the people.
There you go.
They need to hear. They need to be heard. All my life I've been out in the community. I've sat in the audience and asked questions and try to get stuff done. And roadblock after roadblock, I can never get things done.
This really is this is the residents' first. It's their first channel of government they got to go through.
Right. And I'm also looking forward to being a positive, engaged person on the commission. Last 22 years in District 2, District 2 really has not been represented. They were ignored or basically they were not the commission representing the area was not effective. And I'm looking at being that positive voice and working with the commission.
You being from that district for 49 years since you were born, you know what that district needs. You know what it's going to take to bring more vibrance to that area. And hopefully that's, if you get elected, that's what will happen.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to go to break. We've really been pleased to have Cecil Pendergrass running for Lee County Commission.
Vote today.
District
Vote
2.
Today.
Vote.
In my website is Cecil at votependergrass.com.
Absolutely. Cecil at votependergrass.com. Check him out. Early voting today. Look for Cecil's name on the ballot.
7 tonight.
Circling that little oval. You'll be glad you did it.
My phone number's on my website. I take any personal calls anytime anybody wants to talk to me one-on-one.
There you go. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Bubba the Love Sponge. Check me out mornings right here on 96 K-Rock from 6 till 10 a.m. Followed by an all-new lineup of the best damn radio shows, period. Zito and Garrett middays. Stan and Haney afternoons. Followed by Lex and Terry, the Nick and Artie. The Alex Jones Show, and Man Count. Check out all the shows on 96krock.com. Take K-Rock everywhere you go by downloading the iRadio Now app on your smartphone or your Android. It's a radio station that has balls to give you exactly what you wanted. Entertaining radio. 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at ImperialFireSecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. You know, they're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You know, you're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
The nicest used cars anywhere in the country are right here in Naples. And they're all on NaplesUsedCars.com. Hundreds of extra clean, low-mileage used cars at a fraction of their original prices. All makes, all models. This weekend only, over 500 quality pre-owned vehicles are on sale. Imports like Toyota, Nissan, and Mitsubishi. All on sale starting under $4,000. Domestics like Ford and Chevy. All on sale starting under $5,000. Even our luxury vehicles are on sale this weekend only. Mercedes, BMW, and Lexus all on sale, all starting under $12,000. And don't forget, not only do we have low-mileage garage-kept cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, we also have select motorcycles on sale, too. Browse at your own pace, 24 hours a day. Get your trade value, your interest rate, your down payment, your monthly payment. Even fill out your credit app online. Plus, we'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours. Visit NaplesUsedCars.com. That's NaplesUsedCars.com.
Plus tax, tag, and title fees, sponsored by Germain.
At Duncan's Diamonds, we offer diamonds at or below internet pricing, and we're able to offer select diamonds at wholesale prices. Hi, my name is Amanda, and this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be conducting an amazing event at Duncan's Diamonds in Fort Myers on US 41, half a mile south of Page Field, providing free evaluations and paying cash for your diamonds, antiques, silver, and gold items. In high demand are platinum, gold, and silver jewelry, diamonds, gold coins, 1964 and earlier silver coins, bullion, sterling silver flatware, and pocket watches. Don't have any gold or silver? I will also be purchasing war relics, vintage guitars, foreign coins, and paper currency. Folks, the prices for gold and silver are climbing once more. Now is the time to cash in your old gold and silver items. Don't wait until the market drops again and your items lose precious value. No one is offering higher prices than Duncan's Diamonds, up to 30% more, this Friday and Saturday until 8 and Sunday 12 to 6 in Fort Myers on US 41, half a mile south of Page Field.
COOMTAN. I was tan last summer, now I'm pale again. I need a little bit of help to be ready for the beach soon. Tan puts some within my reach. Brown as a biscuit for $9.99. ZoomTan.com for a limited time. $9.99.
ZoomTan has 25 locations throughout Florida. Go to ZoomTan.com for a location near you and for a free spray tan coupon. That's ZoomTan.com. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
Let ABC Fine Wine and Spirits help make your Halloween party a real scream. With scary low prices and devilish savings, you can find all the spirits you need for your Halloween party. For more spooktacular savings, see our ad in Friday's paper.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. The phone numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. You can check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. So, Smitty, we just said goodbye to Cecil Pendergrass. Probably the last time we'll see him before the election.
Before he becomes a big shot and doesn't even know us.
I want you to just forget all about us.
Yep. Who?
District 2. Look for him on the ballot.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and I think he'll do well. And like I say, he's a grassroots guy from.
He was like a 25 or 30-year policeman.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
from
area.
here, born and raised.
So he knows this area, man.
You know, there's no reason in the world not to give him a shot.
Yep, give him a shot. Before we get into something real strict and strenuous here, I've got what I've deemed as stupid lib news. Sick Rick, I know we got audio cut number 2 queued up. Basically, this was Dan Joseph. He's an MRC TV reporter, whoever that is. Visited a packed Obama rally at George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, to try to get answers to one of life's most elusive questions. Where do liberals get their news? And this is him on Cut 2.
Hey everybody, I'm Dan Joseph with MRC TV. We are at a Obama for America rally at George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. It is packed. The line goes back almost a mile. Everybody's waiting to get into the event. We're going to try to talk to some people today about the media, journalists, where they get their news from. We want to know, who's the journalist you trust the most to bring you informative election coverage and political news this cycle?
Oh, it would be Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Maddow.
Brian Williams. Why Brian Williams?
I don't know. He's had consistency in the past.
I usually watch CNN because they seem a little more objective.
Maybe Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart, the comedian.
Comedian.
Yeah.
That's where they get their news. Comedians.
Most people do now.
Not most people.
We were just talking to Jon Stewart. No,
Jon Stewart.
And if they do, that's the problem.
You're not the first person to say that, though. Believe it or not.
Uneducated morons getting their news from a comedian.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, thank Bill Maher, right? Another one. Who do you think is the most informative?
Bill Maher.
They
get their news from Bill Maher.
This
is Obama's voters.
Alan Cooper.
These are your people.
Okay, why do you like Alan Cooper?
I love Bill Maher.
I know you do.
I like Stephen Colbert.
You're going to have to do a little research to find out who exactly
liking
Alan
him and
Cooper
getting your
is.
news from them is two different things.
I think they don't take it as
what journalist do you trust the most?
These people
to
do.
bring you informative. Bro, you didn't even hesitate on that one. A lot of love for Rachel Maddow here today.
Definitely Chris Matthews and MSNBC News.
Chris Matthews, Mr. Tingle Up My Leg.
Anyone but Fox?
Anyone but Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, anything but the truth. Amazing.
Jon Stewart, the comedian, Jon Stewart.
Fox.
Okay, what?
Bill Maher.
Is that a news place?
Fox?
It's the one that beats everybody in the ratings.
They're not really
every
journalists,
week.
they're comedians.
Yeah, but I think they do tell the truth, and it's not necessarily what you want to hear, but they definitely know what they're talking about.
Definitely not anyone on CNN.
No one on CNN. You think CNN's too far to the right for you?
It is.
PolitiFact for me, definitely.
PolitiFact,
Yeah.
okay, the fact-checking organization. All right, what about you?
I'd agree with that.
Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
Probably Rachel Maddow.
Do you think if she was hosting a debate between the candidates that she'd be fair?
I do.
Anybody you watch on a daily basis?
Not Fox.
Not Fox.
Not Fox.
What about Brett Baer?
I don't know who that is.
Just the hatred that is coming from the right, and that you
the intolerance from the right.
hear that by Rachel Maddow. It's just respectful.
Why Rachel Maddow?
Because she's honest. She tells the whole story.
What about Brett Baer? Okay, cool.
It's a Daily Show, the Colbert Report.
Yep.
Are they journalists now, or are they
Some people would say so.
Nice
Are you fired up
music.
and ready to go about Election Day?
We are awesomely
All right, Election Day is when is the actual election? What day is it?
7th of November.
Right.
Yeah, 7th. Yeah, show up on the 7th, idiot.
So.
Is this a quiz?
Oh, it's the 6th.
November 6th.
Oh.
6th, so
Uh-oh.
I failed.
If you had showed up on November 7th, you'd be in some trouble.
It's okay.
Well, there you have it, Smitty. That's where all your people getting their news from.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I know what you do. You like to pick on the guys like that show up at these rallies and they're not really, they're not really thinking, and they've probably had a few drinks, and you catch them when they're down in their luck.
They're drinking at the Obama rally?
Oh, you don't think people drink?
I think people drink, but I know when I went to the Paul Ryan rally, they had water. They were giving out water.
I'm sure it was blessed by God, too.
I don't know if it was blessed or not, but
sure.
it was Kirkland water, I think.
Yeah, from that nice plant out there in Kirkland.
Hey, here's something for you, though. So here's another reason why not to live in France.
Okay.
I deem this as stupid medical news.
Okay.
Why not to live in France, a socialist country? This is what socialist countries produce. So France is now going to test launch shooting galleries for drug users. You know what that is?
I'm listening.
France's socialist government plans to test launch a series of shooting galleries by the end of the year where addicts can inject illegal drugs under medical supervision, the health minister said. So he said, I hope that these experiments will be announced before the end of the year, adding that a number of municipalities had agreed to host such sites already in place in a number of European countries, including Britain and Germany. The centers would provide sterile needles and medical oversight for injectors of heroin and other illegal drugs.
Yeah, I know that sounds like totally outrageous, and for most people it does. But when you look at the cost of fighting the drug war compared to what they're trying to do, it's very out of the box. It's very unique. And they're trying to say that, hey, let's take our money that we fight these drugs and try to help these people. I know it's not
helping them?
Yeah, it's
this is helping them with clean needles.
Yeah,
They're still injecting heroin.
But because if you still get dirty needles, people get
and then
AIDS
on top
and
of
everything else.
Then on
So
top of it,
it's a much larger perspective
the French
on this
people's
thing.
taxes has to go to pay for these shooting galleries.
But you're not listening to the whole picture. You're looking at just giving people needles and saying, okay, that's bad. But you don't look at
what's the good side?
The good side is you're finally going to probably stop the spread of more diseases, because if you're using a bunch of dirty needles, a bunch of people that are.
Well, I'm hoping that problem will solve itself as they kill themselves.
Well, that's the difference between you and me.
That's
I want to help
attrition.
them. You just want them to jump off a cliff.
No, they don't have to jump off the cliff. But if they catch the diseases that they're going to get because of their lifestyle, eventually they will solve their own problem.
Would you agree that the drug war has been?
That's personal responsibility, right there.
Would you agree that the drug war has been failure? Or you say no, it's been a success? What would you say?
I think that we've not been fighting the drug war correctly.
So you're saying it's been a failure?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
absolutely. You can't just dump money into stuff.
Right. So
this is dumping money into stuff.
So that's not dumping money into stuff. That's dumping money in preventive and trying to get people, back on track.
What?
Preventive. I just got done telling you about the diseases that people share with
Isn't
dirty
being a
needles
heroin addict a disease in itself?
Yeah, but once you control the people, then you can say, okay, look, let's.
You're absolutely right. And you said the perfect word. When you control the people,
right?
And that's what a socialist, oppressive
We're
government
talking about
does.
drug addicts here. We're not talking about voters. What are you, nuts?
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
It's a socialist country. They already control the people.
Portugal, I think it's Portugal. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sure you're not. Why don't you look it up on Wikipedia?
100% sure. But Portugal, I believe, actually legalized all kind of drugs. And I think the guy, the president over there said the same thing. He said the drug war has been a failure for many, many years. We've spent billions and billions and millions of dollars trying to fight this, trying to stop it. It never stops, and it just makes the drug war even more profitable. Well, so they're taking a different approach.
If you think about the United States as it relates to this, how would we ever combat the drug war when we don't even have a wall built? We don't even have a border that's secure.
That's very difficult. Well, they got submarines now. You know what they're going to do?
Well, it's tough to get a submarine through the Rio Grande.
Do you know what's next, don't you? They're going to be buying these drones and flying them over.
Maybe so.
That's next.
But our airspace should be able to see those drones coming in, and shoot them suckers down.
Not when they're only 20 feet off the ground and when it crawls.
We got to come up with some technology to fight that.
So you're never going to stop the drugs from coming unless you stop the people from taking it. That's what they're trying to do.
You think we can do that?
I think.
You think by giving them a clean house to shoot up their heroin is going to stop them from taking it?
Well, that's the first step. After you get them clean and you start talking to them and you start educating them.
You haven't got them clean. But you give them a clean needle to use
their
their
heroin. They're going
heroin.
to come to a venue and they're going to be safe, and then you can talk to them and educate them.
And they're going to listen.
Some of them will, some of them won't. Some of them will, some
Clearly,
of them won't.
you know no drug users, do you?
I'm going to have to get a psychologist to come in and talk to you.
Have you ever met a drug user ever in your life?
Yes, absolutely.
Sick Rick may know one.
Yeah, Sick Rick. It was me. See, it was Rick says me, maybe.
Me. So what are you saying, Sick Rick? You want to go to one of these one of these shooting galleries? They have clean needles.
Yeah, they have clean needles.
Good place to try heroin.
The concept is very progressive. So
it is very progressive.
Very progressive.
Not bordering on. It's socialism.
I know. Everything to you is socialism. Everything.
Whatever. All right, we're going to go to break. When we get back, we'll
277-9600 or 775-9600. Give us a call when we come back.
Yeah, see you later.
It's all new, and there's nothing else like it on the radio anywhere.
Nothing tops it. No, nothing in sports tops that.
It's the Nick and Artie Show with Nick DiPaolo and Artie Lang.
They're going to try to make pole dancing part of the Olympics. No. Yeah.
It's our hilarious late-night look at sports and other guy stuff.
You get one job as a father, keep your daughter off the pole.
Keep your daughter off the pole. Check out the Nick and Artie Show.
Weeknights from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on 96 K-Rock.
Are you tired of the same old wasteful spending of our tax dollars? Are you tired of seeing large parts of our county undeveloped with no jobs for our communities? Are you tired of career politicians that promise to represent you and then turn their focus on special interest and the few? Then vote your conscience. Vote Matt Miller for Lee County Commissioner. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes close to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, but there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. You know, they're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You know, you're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best-of-industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Foreclosures are at an all-time high. And here in Southwest Florida, we're at the center of the storm. I'm Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law in Fort Myers. If you find yourself facing the possibility of foreclosure, it's important to have an attorney on your side, someone who understands your legal options. Call Absolute Law at 239-349-8010. As an experienced attorney and former judge, I've helped people like you navigate their way through the often confusing foreclosure process. When the mortgage bills are piling up, it may seem like there's nowhere to turn, but help is available. At Absolute Law, we understand what you're going through, and we'll aggressively fight for your rights. So let me be your advocate. Call today for a free legal consultation, 239-349-8010. Remember, if you have questions concerning foreclosure, I can help. Call me, Mike Chinopoulos of Absolute Law, at 239-349-8010. That's 349-8010, or find us online at absolutelaw.net. Absolute Law, a law firm you can trust. Absolutely.
Man, here we are, October.
I can't believe it's already October, Billy.
Wow.
Huh? You know what? The year is coming to a close. We're kind of on the home stretch. I feel like we got to do something huge to start the end of the year.
I mean,
we don't have a lot of time left.
This promotion has got to be the best promotion we've done all year. These flat screen TVs, these 40s, cost us $300,000, but I'll tell you something, it's going to be worth it, Caroline, because we're going to make a lot of people happy. Everybody that purchases new or used this month at Cecil Kia will receive, everybody, I said, one more time, everybody will receive a courtesy 40-inch flat screen TV with every purchase, whether it's new or used.
So you're saying anyone who comes into Fusillo Kia during the month of October and purchases a new vehicle, a pre-owned vehicle, a Kia, any other make or model, gets a 40-inch flat screen TV.
You know what that is, Southwest Florida? You know what that is, Caroline? What? Huge.
Attention, Pittsburgh Steelers fans and New England Patriots fans. Football is here, and it's live at Groove Street Grill and Laugh-In Comedy Cafe. If you're a Steelers fan, you need to come out to Groove Street Grill to watch the games, where we show the Pittsburgh Steelers games exclusively on all our TVs and big screens. And if you're a Patriots fan, come to the Laugh-In Comedy Cafe, which is home to the New England Patriots fan club and features the Pats games exclusively on all our TVs and big screens. Groove Street Grill and Laugh-In Comedy Cafe are right next door to each other and are located in the College Plaza Shopping Center at 8595 College Parkway in Fort Myers. Our kitchen serves both rooms with the same great menu with football specials, and both rooms offer a full bar with drink specials on game day, and game day is always smoke-free in both rooms. So Steelers fans, Patriots fans, come out and meet the fans where fans meet at Groove Street Grill and Laugh and Comedy Cafe. For more information, call 437-2743. That's 437-2743. Doors open 1 hour before game starts.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K-Rock, and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Duncan's Diamonds, your direct diamond importer. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96K Rock. The phone lines are open, 277-9600, or for the viewers around the world watching live streaming HD video on the Ledge Cam, 239-775-9600. Visit our website and blog at theledgeradioshow.com. You can also give us a like at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty, before we get to our special guest, Mr. Peter Richter, running for State House Rep District 106, I want to talk a little bit about our good friends in Duncan's Diamonds.
Absolutely.
You know, Duncan's Diamonds, they've got 2 locations in Fort Myers, one at Gulf Coast Town Center, one up on 41. What's that near on 41? Is that one down near Brantley or?
Yeah, it's right across from the Dunkin' Donuts up there.
That's right, Dunkin' Donuts and Duncan's Diamonds.
And Dunkin' Donuts and Dunkin' Diamonds.
Don't eat too many donuts or the ring may not fit on your finger.
Don't get them confused.
Well, you know, we shop there. That's where we send all our friends, and we find that Duncan's Diamonds are 25 to 50% below almost all other
great selection, great people.
Stores. Yeah,
if, like I said
nice
before,
folks.
if you want to go in there and talk to them a little bit,
if you don't know about a diamond, they'll educate you.
They will. They'll show you what's happening. So,
yeah, they'll tell you how to pick out the good ones versus the bad ones.
And Christmas is around the corner, so you know, if you guys have been bad all year, time to pony up a little bit and get the pretty girl something to wear, or pretty guy.
Nice. If you're a girl, absolutely.
That's
sure.
Buy me a diamond ring.
Well, they got a great selection, quality, by far the greatest values at or below internet and wholesale prices.
Yep.
So next time you're looking for a quality diamond or an amazing jewelry, go to Duncan's Diamonds. Tell them JD from the Ledge Radio Show sent you. You won't be disappointed. Would you agree, Smitty?
Absolutely. Great
All right,
folks.
very good. Well, let's get back to work then. All right, so in studio with us, we've got Mr. Peter Richter running for District 106 State House Rep.
In Collier County, right?
Yep, Collier County. Peter, thanks for being with us, buddy.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. So where does District 106 encompass? What kind of area is this down in Collier County?
So north to south, it's all of Collier County. And it's from like Livingston Road all the way to the water, and then it's everything south of 41.
Okay, well, that's a pretty big area. A lot of population in that area.
It's about 100,000 voters.
You sure you can handle all them voters, man? Because you're a pretty young guy. I don't know if you're ready for this.
I will answer any question, anywhere, anytime. I'm prepared.
And on the ticket now, are you established on the ticket as a Libertarian Party?
Yes, I'm a Libertarian candidate, and we pride ourselves on knowing our stuff, and we're ready to answer questions, like I said. So
and I know Libertarians are all about fiscal responsibility as well.
That's right. We take the best thing from both parties.
There's good parts of the Democrat Party.
Believe it or not, well, in theory.
See what you're up against. You see what you're up against, right?
So
which good parts are those?
Well, they defend theoretically again. They defend the civil liberties. And
he's not all about that. He's not all about that. He don't care a damn about civil liberties.
It appears to me that the ACLU generally just defends left-leaning groups. But
I'm not saying that the ACLU is the best defender of civil liberties.
Right,
it seems like they kind of stop at the First Amendment. So
very good. I appreciate that.
I appreciate all of the
just the fact that you have an open mind is already impressive for me.
Yeah. If you lived in Collier County, you'd be all over it.
I would.
Man, that's great. No, I appreciate the Libertarian Party and what they stand for. I would say I probably agree on the presidential level with probably 90% of what the Libertarian candidates bring to the table. You know, there's a small percentage that I would not agree with, but even with that, I still think that if you had to choose Libertarian or Republican over the Democrat president now, that either one of them would be, as Newt Gingrich said, infinitely better than the guy we got in office right now. But back down to local level then. So you're up against an incumbent. How long has your opponent been in office?
She got into office by default. She won her election because there was the only challenger dropped out, and the election was essentially handed to her. I mean, they were all friends, and
how come I can't get that lucky, man?
Never.
Because you're not a good old boy.
I'm telling you, I'm going to find somebody that's running unopposed. I'm putting my name on the ballot, boy. Look out!
Yeah,
and
look out.
Since she got in, she's
I'll be one of them things that you are. The vegetarians, what are they?
Libertarians.
Yeah, libertarians. I'll be one of
Liberty,
those.
man, come on.
That's what I'll do.
Here was what's funny when you talk about libertarian. There's a lot of people actually think libertarian means liberal.
Well, yeah,
they don't realize that stands for liberty.
Right. It used to say LIB on the ballot, and I remember because I was a Republican my whole life. I used to look at that and go, wow.
They actually have a liberal party.
For a liberal.
Well, so let's talk about what you're going to bring to the table versus what your opponent has brought to the table over the last several years that she's been in office.
Sure. If you are a social conservative and you care about abortion, I am definitely the best vote for you.
So you are for actually all the remarks that the GOP's been making about abortion? You're about that? You mean to tell me you're going to take all these women and take them back to the Middle Ages and appeal Roe versus Wade and tell them they can't have an abortion? I don't care if you're raped by your second cousin. You got to have that kid because it's a gift from God.
The official position of the Libertarian Party is actually that the government shouldn't have anything to do with it. And I actually used to believe that. I consider myself pro-choice before. But as first of all, I had a couple of little girls.
Let me say, in Smitty's defense, he is unaware, uneducated on the issues of libertarians.
Let me tell you something. It says here, Indiana Republican Senate candidate Richard Murdoch refused to apologize Wednesday for saying that rape resulting in pregnancy is something God intended. Do you support that flat? I'm asking him. Do you support that or not?
He's a libertarian.
I'm asking him.
Libertarians and
He's
Republicans
a big boy.
are different.
He can hang. Let him talk.
Here's what libertarians...
he won't let you talk. Sorry, Dad. Go ahead.
Here's what libertarians say. They don't want the federal government in that issue.
That's right. The official position of the LP is that government shouldn't have anything to do with it.
That sounds like a fence walker to me, buddy.
Now, my position is quite different.
Actually, hang on. Smitty, the Democrats don't want the federal government telling women that they can't have abortions. So libertarians are also saying we don't want the federal government to tell you can't have an abortion.
It's amazing that he hadn't heard that from out of his mouth. All I want him is him to answer.
He can't because you're too busy telling him the wrong
keep
stuff. You're putting words in his mouth.
He don't need you to answer for him. Go ahead.
My job is to tell you the official position of the LP and to tell you my position. My position is that if you're going to make that decision, have an abortion, make that decision a little sooner. There was this bill, HB 277. It was designed to stop abortions after viability. That's essentially the point where, if the baby were born premature, that they would be able to save it. Mm-hmm. And my opponent voted against that. There was also a provision in there where if the baby survived a botched abortion, that they would save that baby. And, I don't know how anybody could vote against that. I think it's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
So, and she's going to go, and she sent out an email this morning, and she said that I'm going around lying about her vote, saying, that she's trying to make it look like she's actually pro-life or something, and it's crazy.
Okay. And that's Pasadomo?
Pasadomo. And you can go to pasadomo.com, which is a site that I created simply to expose her record.
So it's got her record on there,
It's got her record, and I've linked to the myfloridahouse.gov with the official record.
I can't believe that this issue is even on the ballot, to be honest with you, because this was back in
the issue's not on the ballot. The issue's not on the ballot.
Well, Roe versus Wade
it's not on the ballot.
And reversing abortion rights for women's and all that.
I just looked at the sample ballot. It's not on there.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Okay, so you're right. You see what I'm talking about? All he wants to do is just railroad you because you know what I'm talking about. The fact is that this is a major issue, and women today should have the right to choose. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Up to a certain point, right?
Well, no, I think
so. If you're looking at 8 months, do you think an 8-month abortion is any different than murder?
No, I think that's wrong.
So you change your position.
Do it. Make up your mind. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing for 6 months? You know,
well, right now, even if you have an abortion, they don't let you have an abortion at 8 or 9 months.
Well, actually, there's this thing. It says, and that was one of the things that this bill would change. It said that if you have for the health of the mother, and it was very vague, right? And so what would happen is they would say, well, I've got mental health issues, and so I have to be allowed to have this abortion at 8 months.
But you're a guy, you're not the woman, so
okay,
you know,
yeah.
women have a different.
What about the right of the baby?
In this room, have a personal issue.
What about the right? What about the right of the innocent baby that can't decide?
That's right, and that's really, to me, the libertarian argument.
I think
libertarians are all about individual rights. So the real question is, at what point does that baby become a life and inherit all the rights of
an individual,
a human?
Right. And so if you're more religious, you're going to say that it happens at conception.
Sure.
And if you're, if you're not, then you're going to say, well, it happens at birth. And I think the reality is somewhere in between. I think we need to
because really, what's the difference between?
I believe right now you're allowed to have an abortion up to like 2 months or something like that. I'm not sure.
I think it's for the second trimester.
Okay.
So what's the difference then?
So 6 months.
In a liberal's mind, who wants to be able to have an abortion at any time. What's the difference between having an abortion at 3 months or 3 months after the baby's been born? It's the mother's choice, right? Mother's choice. Just kill it whenever. It's your choice. You're the mom.
I don't believe that. I think we should. I think we should be moving it closer towards pro-life. And because
you got to think about the baby's rights. That's what people never think about.
What about the woman's rights?
What
about the woman's rights who's been raped by her cousin or been some stranger, and now you're going to force her to ruin her life, ruin the kid's life, and everybody that has to have these babies now, who's going to take care of them? Because you want to have the right to live.
First of all,
everybody's going to be paying out the gazoo to take care of all these kids. Their life's over.
My issue is different. I don't think the federal government should have the rule on this.
I think
it should be a state law.
Individual, and I think
it should be a state issue.
So if somebody gets pregnant in Florida and it's against the Florida law, they can fly up to Georgia and get it done?
If Georgia doesn't support it, then they can go up there. That's why you've got states' rights.
277-9600 or 775-9600. If you're a woman and would like to speak your mind, speak on it.
Or if you're a baby that has no choice because your mom decided to abort you, please call in.
Let's take a call.
By the way, murder is not a federal crime unless you're on federal land.
All right, so we've got Bob on line 1 from Fort Myers. Bob, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Yes, good morning. My name is Bob Schmonik, and I'm running for Lee County School Board District 2, and I'd just like to call in and talk a little bit about my candidacy, if that would be permissible.
Actually, Bob, you're going to have to call back because we've got a candidate in studio with us right now. Can you give us
a holler back?
Till our break at about 10:20 or 11:20?
11:20. I'll be back.
Thanks, buddy.
Much.
Hang on, Bob.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bob's an eager
tripod,
beaver, man.
Tripod. You're not screening the calls very good, man. You're supposed to tell these people to hold. So anyway, back to what we're talking about. And that's just one issue. So we all know where we stand on that. Let's go to the next issue here. Next issue.
Right. So you're all familiar with Jackson Labs, how they were, our Collier County was trying to give them a huge incentive to come to Collier County.
I remember hearing about that.
Right. And or Solyndra even is very similar too. They were, giving huge loans to companies that didn't have a good business model. That
$540 million is
right.
That's bad.
A company that can't make a profit on their solar panels.
Sure.
Well, almost every Republican in Florida, including my opponent, voted for this green energy bailout, 7117, I think it was. And it's really no different. Yeah, 7117. It's no different than Solyndra, but it's costing Floridians, millions and billions of dollars. And higher energy costs
I've actually got a list of the failed or faltering bankrupt green energy companies as of Thursday of last week, and there's at least 34 of them that all received anywhere from $500,000 government loans up to and including the $535 million loan from Solyndra, and 34 of these companies, all green energy based companies, all got money from the federal government, which is the taxpayers paid this money. They've all failed. All of them failed and they got federal money to try to make their little system work, And for whatever reason, they couldn't make it work.
That's what happens
That's
when
our
the
money
government
thrown in
picks
the
winners and losers.
Yep,
and it doesn't matter if it's a green energy issue or something.
It could be an
you know,
oil company, for all I care. If you're
That's
giving
right.
money to it and it fails, then, you know, and if you might have one that goes down, but when you have all of them, that's no good. The government can't run anything. Look at the post office.
That's right.
They can't run anything efficiently and keep it alive.
Speaking of getting money, I was looking through my opponent's donations, and she received maximum contribution from a green energy company, Next Energy.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Just a few months before the vote on the bill. I mean,
Is that someone that's coming down? Is that a company that's trying to do anything down here?
I didn't keep digging. I just saw that you got it from a green energy company, and I left.
Well,
it there,
we've got a few more minutes before the break. I want you to give it your all. Tell the folks, tell the voters what it is you're going to do to help this part of the country, especially in Collier County, to move forward and to be more fiscally conservative. It's your floor, buddy.
Great, thank you. Well, a lot of people are a little bit scared of libertarians, but let me tell you, you don't have to worry about that because I'm going to be the only one in the state house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remind the Republicans what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to fight for limited government. They're supposed to stop with all these bailouts, stop with all this nonsense about picking winners and losers. I'm going to be the most fiscal conservative in the entire state legislature. I'm going to go after all the corruption. I'm going to fight for individual liberty, and I'm going to do everything I can to get our education system repaired. We have a completely failed education system. It couldn't be worse if it were designed by the Soviets. There's no competition. I'm going to make sure that we have competition, and I'm going to do it by using the Republicans' party platform against them. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Democrats. I'm going to use their party platform against them, because neither of them are living up to their own stated goals.
Well, I think I would agree. You've got a lot of the country club Republicans still in office, the rhinos, the Republican in name only, and then you got the Democrats that just have their own issues all by themselves.
Then you got the right-wing, far lost in space Tea Partiers, like some other people.
Far right-wing, lost in space
what I mean?
Tea
Lost
Partiers.
in space Tea
actually
Partiers.
believe in fiscal conservative.
Yeah,
that's a big
Birthers,
issue.
the whole bit. You got the whole thing.
Birthers was brought on by your boy there, Trump. So I don't even want to hear
He's
it.
a Tea Partier.
Whatever. I don't think he's a Tea Partier.
All these distractions, and we don't really get to the real issues. And the real issues are we've got a good old boy system, and it's corrupt. And I'm going to fight to do something about it. And I hope that you guys will give me your vote.
Absolutely.
So today?
Today. Early voting starts today.
That's right.
I've actually got a caller on line one I want to get to right before the break. Is there a website or a Facebook page that people can go to learn more about you?
My website is electrichter.com. That's RICHTER, just like earthquakes. And
Richter scale.
The Richter scale.
Good Irish name.
Something like that. And you can find me on Facebook. Just type in Elect Richter. I'm all over Facebook, and I love to talk about politics anytime.
Absolutely.
And I'll be at the polls. I'll be at Orange Blossom most of the day.
Okay, excellent. We've got a call on line one. We got Ron from Estero. Ron, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty and Peter Richter.
Hey, good morning, guys. First off, this is my first time listening to your show. And I got to say, you guys, what happens, like, the first hour you guys are laid back, the second hour you guys are, like, jacked up.
Well, we finally wake up.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, as far as libertarians are concerned, and I honestly, I'm not trying to put Mr. Richter on the spot or anything, but there's something that I never really understand, and that's the libertarian stance on drugs, such as marijuana and those types of, marijuana. What is the libertarian stance on that? Because I hear fiscal conservatives and I hear that you guys are really conservative, but then I hear libertarians saying, well, marijuana should be legal too. The government should keep their nose out of it. So what is the deal with libertarians and legalizing marijuana?
I'd be happy to answer that question. And
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for listening, buddy.
Basically, what it comes down to is I don't want to legalize drugs because I want people to do drugs. I want to legalize drugs because I honestly believe it is the only way to keep kids from getting drugs. It is easier for kids in high school to get alcohol than it is for them to get marijuana. And it's not theory. This happened. I mean, it's proven in this country here after Prohibition.
You mean it's easier to get marijuana than alcohol?
Yes, I'm
yes,
sorry.
because marijuana is illegal, and they can buy it from their buddies instead of going to the convenience store where they card you for it.
Right, they card you, and they have to pay a big fine if they get caught selling alcohol to minors.
Sure.
And
there's a lot of people that would probably go, yeah, let's legalize it, because the war on drugs, I said before,
we were talking about that earlier.
It's horrible.
Right. But
horrible.
now, again, this would be at the federal level. You wouldn't make it a federal crime, but you could still have it as a state or local.
At least decriminalize it.
No. It's a state issue.
I mean, I know.
Here with prohibition, they actually passed a constitutional amendment for prohibition, because before that they did not have the authority to tell you what you could put in your body and what you couldn't.
Right.
And now we have the war on drugs. There was never a constitutional amendment to allow that. I mean, this entire war is illegal.
I gotcha.
So it is within the state's power to do that. But I don't think that they should be doing it either. I think that when you do that, you create a black market. Look, they can't even keep drugs out of prison. How are we going to keep it out of the whole country?
I agree.
Well, I hope that answers Ron's question. And we had a little short time to discuss it. Maybe Smitty and I can talk about it a little bit when we come back from break. But Peter Richter, it's been a pleasure having you in the studio. State House Rep, District 106, Collier County. So look for him on the ballot, the only libertarian running in that district. And we appreciate you being in, buddy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back, folks.
If you're on hold.
96 K-Rock, Stan and Haney afternoons.
Gary Sheffield hanging out. You've been running around a lot today, haven't you, to get down here? I'm hearing airports and shuttling them around and phone interviews and everything's going crazy.
Yeah, they drive me crazy.
9-time All-Star, World Series champion. You look like you can still play.
It just looked like that.
Stan and Haney afternoons. 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2 000046.
When it comes to landscaping, farming, or just cutting the grass, no one knows more than Matt Miller Tractor. They offer a huge selection of tractors and mowers for all your needs. Whether it's large commercial development or a small family project, they are your one-stop shop. Matt Miller Tractor is dedicated to providing their customers with the top-of-the-line products and services, all under one roof. Matt Miller takes great pride in his customer service, bringing top brands to you and offering best-of-industry warranties on all product lines. If you're looking for that one-of-a-kind make or model, they have all the top names: Snapper, Kohler, King Cutter, Briggs & Stratton, and more. Sale, service, repair, and maintenance for 20 years. Once you experience their down-home approach to business, you'll see why Matt Miller Tractor is second to none. They treat each customer like a neighbor, because that's what you are. Call Matt Miller Tractor at 239-693-0305. That's 239-693-0305. Or stop by the store at 7261 West State Road 80.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Hi, I'm Matt Miller. Would you like to help to restore the American dream, own a home, and be able to provide for your family? Then vote for me so we can make a difference. Restore our economic future. Vote Matt Miller, November 6th. Let's take back our country. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Miramar Outlets is the place where you can shop, dine, and play with over 140 top designer brand name outlets.
Miramar Outlets is full of free events this weekend, starting with the 10th biannual Estero Fine Arts Show, presented by Hotworks.org on Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is a juried fine art and craft show featuring award-winning artists from around the world. world.
The little ones can enjoy Kids Day on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Mundo Fox Playland, where kids up to 12 are invited to participate in free fun activities. There'll be kids crafts, a face painter, a free slice of pizza from Luna Pizza, and a coupon for a free froyo from Orange Leaf Frozen Yogurt while supplies last.
And to add to the day, the Gulf Shore Mustang Club will be hosting a car, truck, and bike cruise near the restaurant Piazza on the lake on Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. Great names, great savings, and great fun for the whole family at Miramar Outlets, exit 123 off I-75 in Estero, across from Miramar Design Center.
The pre-owned Lexus vehicles at Germain Lexus are better than exceptional, and so are the prices. So we've created a new word to describe them. Lexceptional. Right now, get exceptionally low prices on every certified pre-owned Lexus in stock. Hand-picked local one-owner trades and lease returns certified by the factory and backed by a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty and 24-hour roadside assistance. Starting under $20,000 and financing as low as 0.9%. And every Germain Lexus comes with Platinum Club membership benefits, featuring complimentary car washes, oil changes, and more. But these Lexceptional deals can't possibly last. So hurry to our all-new state-of-the-art facility at Germain Lexus of Naples, on the corner of Wiggins Pass and US 41. It's truly Lexceptional. Or call 1-866-49-LEXUS and online at GermainLexusofNaples.com. Price plus tax tag title and dealer fees. Financing on select models for a limited term with approved credit expires month end.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
I love the weekends. You can't beat the beach. The sand, the hot sun.
Todd, when was the last time you were at the beach?
Jace, while you and I are at the Diamond District all weekend, there are some people who go to the beach. And I'm just saying how nice that must be.
And after the beach, if you're in the market for a diamond, you won't find a better value or diamond buying experience than the Diamond District.
In Estero at Coconut Point, with diamond prices at or below the internet.
At the Diamond District.
96 K-Rock contests are open to listeners at least 18 years of age who reside in Lee, Collier, Sharp, Glades, or Henry County. Employees of K-Rock, its parent corporation, affiliated entities, participating sponsors, and other radio stations and immediate families not eligible. One winner per household once every 30 days. Unless otherwise stated, all prizes must be picked up at the K-Rock studios within 30 days. Must possess valid government-issued ID. Prizes not transferable. Taxes are sole responsibility of winner. Decisions by K-Rock management are final. K-Rock reserves the right to amend rules. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Subject to all laws. Complete copies of rules and winners available during regular business hours at our studios in Estero or by sending a self-addressed stamped envelope to 96 K-Rock.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now back to the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Check out the live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. All right, Smitty, get to your little promo here, man.
Just a reminder, like we spoke earlier about it. Sunday, November 11th. Put it on your calendar. They're going to do a VFW fundraiser for the vets out there in Cape Coral. It's being hosted out there by the VFW guys out there at VFW Post 8463. It's right over the South Point Bridge. You go over there, and it's at 4709 Southeast 11th Place, Cape Coral. Papa Joe's Italian Restaurant and Continental are going to be out there. They're going to have music, 50-50 raffle, all kind of dancing. So all the vets want you to do is go out and have a good time. And by going out and have a good time, you support them. It's a good thing, so go out there. And we're also going to give out a promo. And the first one that calls in and get to Billy, Tripod Billy, and tell him winner chicken dinner, you get yourself a $25 gift certificate to Papa Joe's Italian Restaurant. It's not the chain, it's the real restaurant.
So 277-9600, 775-9600, $25 gift certificate to Papa Joe's.
Winner chicken dinner.
First one that says winner chicken dinner to Tripod Bill. And we're going to go ahead and take a call real quick. We've got Lori that's been holding on line 3.
Thanks, Lori.
Lori from Ellington, it says. Lori, you're on the Ledge Radio Show.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I was just calling to let all those Romney rednecks out there realize that women have rights to say what they need to say about what they're doing with their body. I have no idea where you guys get off thinking that you can tell a woman she needs to have an abortion, she doesn't need to have an abortion. And who in the world ever put rape into categories? Really? A rape is a rape. It doesn't have a category.
I agree.
And it all comes out the same way.
Hey, Lori,
I agree,
Lori, at what point?
There and go, yeah, bring it on, big boy. Let's do it again.
Hey, Lori, at what point does a baby have the rights? Does a baby ever have a right to live?
Are you a woman?
No, I'm not, but I do have a baby.
Until you can hold something in your body that has been put there by Satan, you have no right to tell a woman when she can decide that and when she can't.
I don't want to tell a woman that.
It's your opinion, and you need to keep it to yourself. Because honestly and truly, out there in the big world, women are going to do what they want to do. And again, all you little Romney rednecks out there, you need all the carrying on, just like you're doing, and go vote for your little Romney guy. And I hope that any woman out there that is going to the polls this morning to vote knows what she's doing by turning the hands of time back. Barefoot and pregnant.
There you go. All right, thanks for your call. Thanks for dumbing down the more liberals that are out there.
She's absolutely correct. 100% agree.
No, you know what? I agree with the fact that she talks about rape. That's fine. But you know what? A baby has rights too. A baby is a human being.
When you go into that voting booth and all the levers are on one side like the family tree, you're a Romney redneck.
That's fine. The bottom line is, I don't need the federal government telling people what they can and can't do. If you think by killing a baby that makes you that's what you want to do, go ahead. You can face God when you die. You will face God when you die.
If you got L on the back of your left foot and an R on your right foot, you might be a Romney redneck. You know what I mean? She's right. You're not a woman. I mean, she has a good point.
Let's get to our other call. No, I'm not a woman. But I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids,
yeah,
so I know
what I'm talking about. But if you had a daughter that was ever raped or something, you would want that baby
is
abort.
Different.
That's what she's saying.
It doesn't matter, though. I don't want the federal government to tell them anyway. I don't feel that the federal government should tell them.
Tea Party wants it abolished. They want to make sure that the women hold that baby.
Amber, line 1. Let's go real quick right before Bob Chilmonic. Amber, you're on the Ledge Radio Show.
This is Bob Chilmonic.
Oh, well, then we'll take Bob. All right, Bob, what you got, buddy?
Hey, well, I'm calling in about, I'm a candidate for Lee County School Board District 2 here in Lee County.
Yes, sir.
And just take some questions on that, talk a little bit about my campaign, if that would be okay.
That's just fine. We got to calm down the room a little bit here. We were in a real strong
shut up, let me answer a question.
Over abortion, so Smitty's got some questions for you.
Hey, Bob, how you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you doing?
Good luck. Really quick, we don't want to keep you forever, but how do you think we can improve Lee County schools? I mean, what's your main thing that you say, I would change this?
Well, there's really 3 things, but what I would like to first speak to is reading. Reading is one of the biggest issues that we have in Lee County schools besides finances, which we'll talk about first for a second. But half the children leave the Lee County school system unable to read at the most basic level. And we certainly can't be a competitor not only locally but worldwide for bringing in employers unless we address that problem. And unfortunately, over the last 10 years, there's been no significant improvement in our reading scores. So one of the priorities that I'd like to bring forward is improving reading scores by looking at other systems that have similar students, backgrounds and students and poverty levels, and seeing what they're doing to address those needs of students. Also, just out of quickly here, we have 8,000 students in the school district that speak little or no English, and we need to also make a top priority of teaching every single student the English language. So that's priority number 1.
I would agree with that.
What's your opinion on the new superintendent's job? What do you think the performance? What would you rate that?
I think he's doing great. I've met him on several occasions. He's certainly a breath of fresh air compared to our last superintendent. He's a visionary. We have a couple board members that want to try to remove him from office, but I think that would be the worst thing that we could do right now. He's actually bringing fiscal accountability to the school district. He's looking at things like double dipping, and so forth, and he's taking those areas under control. He's also brought in a couple good people from the outside that's taking a fresh look at our curriculum. So I wholeheartedly support him, and I think that the community, once they get to know him even better than they do now, that they're going to be quite pleased with him and his style of management. So he's a keeper.
What about the FCAT? What do you think about that, bud?
Well, fortunately, the FCAT's going to go away, and I lost faith in the FCAT a couple of years ago. We're teaching the test. My wife's a teacher, and the FCAT itself has become outmoded for our students and also for the community. And again, what we're going to be doing, or what the state is doing, is we're going to do after-course testing. And that way teachers have a fair evaluation of what they teach in the classroom, and there's what's called a before and after test, which I support. But FCAT has simply turned into a big business testing a bureaucracy that is really not helping, our students succeed where they should be. And fortunately, it's going to go away.
Well, I met you one time, and this was, I guess about 2-3 months ago. And you
What is that? Is that your tiger? You have a tiger in the background?
You got a tiger in your tank?
Oh, yes, that's, I just finished a speech on Sanibel, so that was a motorcycle. Rather big one, by the way.
Okay.
But, I met you, and you were standing on the corner all alone, and you had your sign, and you were, talking, and I didn't even know it was you. I walked up and just started talking to you, and then after we got, some conversation going, I realized that you were who the guy was, the sign you were holding was actually you. And,
yes.
but you were a great guy, and you were, very congenial and, very articulated, and you had some good
there
points.
Goes articulated again.
So, it's something that
can articulate a python.
It's something that we need in the school district. God knows the schools are the future. So.
Hey, Bob, where can people go to learn a little bit more about you? Do you have a website or Facebook page?
Yes, I have a website and a Facebook page. The easiest way is just Chilmonic Google, and you'll see both of those come up. It's electbobc.us is my webpage. Please take a look at it. I'm going to give my phone number to the listeners out there.
Go ahead.
940-0932. I have this phone on 24/7. In fact, I got a call, believe it or not, at midnight last night, and I took it from a voter. So please call me.
Vote today.
If you have any questions.
Yeah, early voting starts today.
Vote today.
All right,
Yes,
Bob.
sir.
We appreciate it, buddy. Good luck on the campaign.
Okay, and good job, guys. We'll be seeing you after the election.
I expect my invitation to the party if you win.
Take care. All right, let's see. We've also got a couple callers on hold.
Let's take one.
Yeah, we'll take one before the break. Let me get to Amber. I think Amber's on line 1. Amber, you're on the Ledge Radio Show.
Guess what, guys? I'm a redneck.
Oh, my God.
Card-carrying member of the NRA. I'm a redneck.
And what do you think about that? What do you think about that call from Lori?
Idiot. I think Lori's an idiot. I mean, people need to realize that abortion issue is passe. I mean, at this point...
Passe?
It really is. I mean, Smitty, it's gone. I mean...
You mean, it's easy to say when you're not pregnant, raped by your cousin or something, to say it's passe.
I was raped at 18, so you don't have the right to tell
Did you get pregnant?
No, unfortunately
that would have been a game changer, hon.
You know what? Let me tell you something, Smitty. Right now, I would love to have another child, and it pisses me off that these 11, 12-year-old girls are using abortion as birth control. That's an issue for me, because me as a grown woman being married for 11 years and cannot have it, the maternal way, I would love the opportunity. So for these young girls to run around and instead of taking precautionary actions, they're not. That's the
way it is in the cards. If you can't have a baby, you can't have a baby. I mean, that's just how it is.
Oh, God, I'm killing the children. I mean, that's exactly what this is.
No, you're talking about a place where somebody was incest and rape and all that. And
she's talking about 11 and 12-year girls that are using abortion instead of using a condom.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you want to do? Ruin her life at 11 or 12 and have the baby and then everybody?
No, they should have some responsibility. Maybe have a parent that tells them not to do it.
Yeah, you can instead
of a parent that teaches them to do it.
You can't turn back the hands of time, and it's a moral issue, and it's a very deep, rooted emotional issue.
You need to start taking responsibility for that.
At 11?
The parents can take responsibility.
Come on, man. You're pissing down my leg telling me it's raining. I don't believe a word of that.
It really is. It is crap. And the sad thing is Sandra Fluke, she graduated from Georgetown University. She just signed on right now.
She ain't 11.
Firm. So listen, this is important. Signed on to a private firm for $300,000 a year as her salary, and she is asking people that make less than $19,000 at poverty level to pay for her birth control. There is one thing to ask for poverty level women, which is Planned Parenthood, to pay for their birth control. That is one issue, but it is a completely separate issue where women can't afford it, and they're asking everybody else to pay for it. That is a completely separate.
So we'll give out cards or something. You can get free. Contraceptives if you're poor.
Go and listen to me. You go file for WIC. You go file for welfare. You go file for everything else. Why can't you file for that?
So we'll eliminate every social program, right?
I didn't say eliminate it. I'm saying if you need it, you file for it if you really are eligible, but we should not be going around paying for a woman that makes $300,000.
It sounds like it's good for me, not good for you.
I'm not asking you to pay for my stuff.
Hey, Amber.
I'm going to pay for your rubbers.
Hey, Amber. That's not paying for your rubbers.
I'm a bareback rider.
This is what I left off with Lori. When it comes to abortion as a whole, as far as I see it, I don't see it as being a federal issue that the federal government should tell you yes or no. That's me personally. Now, even though I'm a very staunch Republican, it's not one of my main issues when it comes to that, because I look at it a different way. Maybe more in a libertarian way. I don't even know. I don't even know if it's libertarian or not. But when you make that decision as a woman, maybe you've asked your boyfriend or your husband, I don't know, but you make the decision as a woman to do what you're going to do, you'll answer to one person, and that's God. When you die, you can answer to God. If you don't believe in him, great. You don't have nothing to worry about. Right. But if you do believe in him, and you really believe in him, you're going to have to find out when the day comes.
It says in a good book, all sins are forgiven if you believe in Jesus Christ, okay? And it says right there. So, you can talk and try to scare people away and give your God speech till the cows come home, but we all fall short in the eyes of the Lord. So there you go.
But the problem is repeatedly and knowing it. It's like, oh, I'm going to murder my boss because I hate him. Oops, I'm sorry, God, please forgive me. I mean, that's kind of the notion is what the Democratic Society, and like I said.
That only works if you're Catholic.
Well, exactly.
Few Hail Marys, you're all over it.
Yeah. Or Kennedy.
I'm Catholic now.
I know. Well, hey, Amber, listen, we're coming up on a break. I appreciate your call. We'll get you. We're going to get you back in studio real soon.
Hang on, callers. Hang on.
We got some callers on hold. Amber, thanks a lot. Vote today. Early voting. All right.
I'll be there, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, we'll be back after this break.
96 K-Rock supports Southwest Florida's bikers with the Biker Map.
Hey, this is Chris from the Biker Map. The Biker Map is in over 500 locations, and if you can't find it, just go to thebikermap.com. The Biker Map.
Grab a copy by stopping by K-Rock Broadcasts, and always at the K-Rock Studios in Estero.
I just want to say thank you to Southwest Florida and all the advertisers for supporting all the motorcycle riders out there. The Biker Map. And be sure to be on the lookout for the all-new The Boater Map from 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com.
I am Matt Miller. You are Matt Miller. We are Matt Miller. Vote for me November 6th. Or you can vote early at the Supervisor of Elections, downtown Fort Myers, so we can make a difference and restore fiscal responsibility and economic development to our area. I am a believer. I am your neighbor. I am you. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
Southwest Florida knows that Duncan's Diamonds has the best prices, but it's their quality, selection, and excellent customer service that keeps customers coming back year after year. And Duncan's Diamonds customers have great things to say.
Their sales team is extremely helpful and knowledgeable.
I've shopped at other jewelry stores, and there's no place like Duncan's Diamonds. And I tell all my friends to come here every chance I get.
At Duncan's Diamonds, I found everything I was looking for. Great designers. I was awfully impressed with their Hearts on Fire diamonds and jewelry. You know, they're really amazing.
The customer service is excellent. You know, you're free to take your time and browse without being hassled, and all your questions are answered.
I've been to every chain jewelry store, department store, and independently owned stores. None of them beat Duncan's Diamonds prices. They are the best.
I had some jewelry to sell, and by far, Duncan's Diamonds paid me the most cash and paid on the spot.
Duncan's Diamonds puts your mind at ease. Best quality at the best price.
Discover Duncan's Diamonds, Fort Myers on US 41, and in the Gulf Coast Town Center, where you'll find the largest selection at the best prices in Southwest Florida.
Are you tired of the same old wasteful spending of our tax dollars? Are you tired of seeing large parts of our county undeveloped with no jobs for our communities? Are you tired of career politicians that promise to represent you and then turn their focus on special interest and the few? Then vote your conscience. Vote Matt Miller for Lee County Commissioner. I am Matt Miller, a fair and responsible choice.
Political party advertisement paid for and approved by Matt Miller, Independence Party, for Lee County Commissioner.
The Halloween party at the Sandy Parrot this Saturday night at 10 p.m.
Come get freaky under my tiki.
Really? That's the best you could come up with? There's a costume contest with $400 cash for first place and $200 for second.
Plus, Dance till your feet fall off.
Or 2 a.m., whichever comes first.
A200 will fill the room with souls.
That's fill the room with soul.
Oh.
Get freaky under my tiki this Saturday at the Sandy Parrot on 41 just south of Alico Road.
Honey, are you ready yet? I don't want to spend all day shopping for a new car.
What makes you think it's going to take all day?
Well, there's at least a dozen car dealers around here.
We don't need to drive all over town. Last night while you were sleeping through the football game, I was shopping at VictoryLaneChevrolet.com.
Really? Did they have any new Camaros?
More than anyone else. But we're looking for a crossover like the Equinox, or maybe one of those cute new Chevy Sparks. They get up to 38 miles per gallon EPA highway, and we can get one in my favorite color, pink.
Victory Lane Chevy, huh? That's at the corner of Fowler and Winkler, isn't it?
Yes, dear. Let's go.
All right. But I'm still going to sit in the new Camaro.
Sit in anything you like. I'll let you know when I picked out our new Victory Lane Chevy.
By the way, I wasn't sleeping.
Sure you weren't.
You're always a winner at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Victory Lane Chevrolet. That's L-A-Y-N-E.
Every day, people go to work, and before the day is over, an on-the-job injury can alter their life forever. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Unfortunately, these workers often find themselves in a fight for survival with their own employer's workers' compensation insurance carrier. Sometimes an injury takes seconds to occur. Others are caused by years of repetitive motion or exposure to hazardous chemicals or materials. But no matter how an injury occurs, the immediate need for lost wages and medical treatment begins at once. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, and any disruption in pay can upset a family's life. At Morgan & Morgan, we're proud of the work we do on behalf of the injured worker. Don't trust the insurance company to protect your family. Visit forthepeople.com for answers to your questions concerning your legal rights, or call Morgan & Morgan at 1-800-MORGAN-LAW. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Look at that beautiful lake and those graceful swans. So romantic.
Todd, what's gotten into you? I'm just going to tell them about our 6,000 square foot superstore filled with diamonds. And the Diamond District's diamond prices are at or below the internet.
Where else, other than the Diamond District, can you get this view while shopping for diamonds? No mall food court smells, no confusing websites, just the lake and the swans.
At the Diamond District.
Unfiltered, unbridled opinions, and giving Southwest Florida a voice. It's the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks. Talk that rocks.
Welcome back. Phone lines are open. The numbers are 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. Smitty, no winners yet on the contest.
Nope.
We got a $25 gift certificate to Papa Joe's.
Yeah, for the VFW fundraiser, they're actually promoting it. That's going to be November 11th. And if you call in, say winner, chicken dinner, you get a $25 gift certificate to a great place to eat in Cape.
Hey, we've got it. We got
Take a call.
Winner on line one. Winner on line one.
Now, take your
what?
boy.
Who do you want to use?
Take your boy that calls for Pete all the time.
You want Pete?
Yeah, I'll call Pete.
All right, then we'll pick Pete with line 3.
Yeah, take Pete.
Pete, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with
Pete?
JD and Smitty. What you got, buddy?
Sure. Hey, hi guys. Hey, I'm really worried about something. I just read something from the Secretary of State from Ohio that Romney's son owns the electronic voting machines.
I heard about
Ohio. We have.
I think that's great.
The Justice
About time we have our own voter fraud.
Didn't you have it in Florida when Bush got in office?
You know, you buy the voting machines, and it's those electronic touch ones.
Sweet.
Which are very, very easy to rig up.
Yeah, you could program it for whatever you want.
Well, they say the Secretary of State of Ohio says hackers can get in there very easily.
They're notoriously bad.
Romney's son's company, so I think that's sort of a.
Who's watching the watchdog? Is that what you're saying, Pete? Who's watching the watchdog, really?
Yeah, exactly. And these electronic things, come on. Let's go back.
It's kind of like Romney lies and Jeremy will swear to it.
Here's the thing, though. In Guilford, Colorado, voters say that their ballot, when they voted for Romney, it came up Obama on the machine. On Monday, several voters complained that their electronic ballot machine cast the wrong vote. All the complaints were made by people who voted at the Burr Mill Park polling location.
It's even worse when the politician owns the voting machines.
I agree.
He should be disqualified in Ohio. That is definitely a conflict of interest.
Disqualified in Ohio, boy. That's what about Obama being disqualified in New York during the 2008 election when he did not have enough signatures on the voter rolls?
Buddy, let's stay with 2012.
You're right. You're right. We've already screwed the pooch on the last 4 years.
You guys screwed up.
Somebody should really say, hey.
It's not a hanging Chad. Just remember that. It's not a hanging Chad.
Colorado finds 300 more suspected non-citizens on the voter rolls. Fake voter registration letters raise alarm in Florida with early voting to set. Sent to all Republicans.
They own the voting machines in Ohio. That's why he's so confident he's going to win Ohio.
I sure hope he does. All
right, Pete.
All right, Pete. Thanks for your call, buddy.
You want to go back to George W. Bush's policies?
That's what you're doing.
Crashed the economy.
You're right. You're right, Pete.
I thought it was the Democrats when they took control of the Congress and the Senate in 06.
You're right, Pete. 8
So
years.
Who was the president? Doesn't make any difference. The president has veto power.
And our president and the current president has executive order power. 973 executive orders.
Always throw that up. Doesn't make any difference, buddy. The president has veto power, and Bush didn't veto anything that he didn't,
and Obama didn't get anything passed, and Obama hasn't passed anything. He's just done it through executive privilege. Executive order.
Bush couldn't spell veto.
You talk about denial. It's not only a river in Egypt, buddy. It's your brain.
Denial.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. Take care, buddy.
Take call one.
Okay, so we think we may have a winner.
Winner. Chicken dinner.
On line one. Who's on line one?
Don Farnsworth.
Don, you are the winner of the $25 gift certificate. How about that?
Great.
That's awesome. And it's Papa Joe's. Smitty swears
Have you ever
by
been
it.
there? Have you ever been there, Don?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's really.
He said it's like the best
it's the
pizza
best,
in
and
town.
I'm not a huge pizza eater. He will tell you by far. But whenever I go over there, I just travel the South Point or South Park Bridge. What bridge is that? The South one?
Dude, I don't know. You live right there. You don't
right
even know
on
the name
College
of the road.
Parkway over that bridge. It's South Point Bridge. It's not the midpoint.
Not South Point. It's the College Parkway, the Cape Coral Bridge.
Cape Coral Bridge. Go over
Cape
that
Coral
one.
Parkway Bridge.
Go over that one, and then you'll be there in like 2 minutes, right over the bridge, and you just make a left. It's right there. The food's great, and it's for a good cause. They're actually promoting this thing November 11th, and for us to promote
it's for the VFW. Don, just hang on the line for us. Tripod Bill, get all your information.
Hold on, Don.
Thanks for calling. All right, so.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank
So,
you for calling.
and I'm glad that Pete called in and mentioned that stuff because I do have a lot of information here, and we've only got a few minutes left. But just to remind everybody, today does start early voting. 7 to 7, you can vote. And usually the early voting is only in select locations. It's not usually all
the
all
one
polling
across from
places.
Bell Tower is the main location. They're open today. I
Okay.
drove by them on the way in, and
I think the East County Library out in Lehigh is another voting place for the Lehigh residents.
sure. And if you're a working class guy and you don't have a lot of time, you got to take the time from 7 to 7 on the weekends to get out there.
Do they vote on Sundays too?
I believe so.
For all 10 days. 10 days early
I
voting?
believe it is.
Well, they can give it a shot maybe tomorrow, too, if they can't make
Check
it out
the
during
web.
the day.
Check the
Because here's
web.
the thing. Everybody else says, I like to wait till the actual day of voting because it's cool because you get to hang out with everybody. But then that day comes up and you don't have the time to get there.
Yeah, it's too late.
And now you're screwed. You couldn't even vote.
Right.
And literally, we know how Florida can be. It can come down to the last few minutes, man. The last few voters could be the decision, the make or break it. Because even in the George Bush election, when it came down to like 200 or 300 votes with the hanging chads in West Palm.
Well, Ohio's going to be the deciding vote, I think.
Well, it sounds like we got it wrapped up on the Romney side because his son apparently owns the voting machines.
Apparently.
Sweet.
So nobody, you don't even need to vote if you're a GOP or Tea Partier. You got it wrapped up. Just sit home and take it easy.
Absolutely not. Don't listen to Smitty.
Take it easy.
And if you received any of these bogus letters from Seattle that say that you are not a registered voter or you're not a citizen, you're not allowed to vote, and you're Republican, do not listen to it. It is a fraudulent letter. Our Attorney General is looking into it. It was sent to hundreds, if not thousands, of voters in Florida. And basically, they've learned it's a clever attempt at intimidation and suppression of Republican voters. It's under investigation by the state of Florida. We have a historical background. 29 electoral college votes up in this state. And early voting did begin today.
They're saying if Romney wins Florida, even if Romney wins Carolina or South Carolina, North Carolina, one of them, and Virginia, which is a big chunk, he still needs to take Ohio. So, I mean, the combinations of the states.
That's because they've already determined that who's going to win certain states based on the population of that
crazy.
state. Either polls or population.
I'm telling you, it's going to be down the stretch they come. A photo finish is going to be the tightest race you probably will ever see in your life.
You know, Pete was worried about the voting booths up in Ohio, but did you know that the Obama campaign's donation site appears to have been built with an uncharacteristic lack of security where foreign donations are concerned? Their site actually allows foreign donations to come into the site, which is a federal offense. When a person from out of the country tried to send money to Obama and tried to send money to Romney, Romney's site kicked it back because it was illegal. Obama's site accepted the money.
Where'd it come from, the Blaze?
No, it came from campaign fraud. It's campaign fraud. Okay. But yeah, even if it did come from the Blaze,
how much do you think they gave?
The guy tried to give only $5.
Oh, man.
He was just testing it, and it worked for Obama's site, but it did not work for Romney's because Romney's site actually had the proper security to weed through and make sure that they were legal citizens or not.
Okay. What do we got?
You're almost there. Okay. 30 seconds,
30
man.
30 seconds. Well, just the top single individual guy was your guy.
What top single individual are you talking about? Lance Armstrong?
Sheldon Adelson. He gave $34 million of his own money.
That's the guy from the casino, right?
That's the most ever. So that's craziness.
This is going to be a historic week, and don't miss next week's show on the 3rd, the Saturday before the election. We'll see you guys next week, Ledge Radio Show.